Alright, I'm gonna give my build with the Cyclone Boys a shot at doing 100% Delirious. This is General's Cry with Cyclone, and then my main build with Cyclone with Shockwave. Let's give 100% Delirious. Now this is a light 100% Delirious. All 4 of these nodes area may contain totems, 70% chance to avoid elemental ailments, bosses are possessed, 70% less effective curse on monsters. None of these have very negative effects to me, which is why I decided to give it 100% Delirious, because it should be pretty easy in terms of the base modifiers on the map. So let's give this 100% Delirious a shot. Now Cyclone doesn't do a lot of damage for this type of variation. I do think it helps to proc the 10% chance for impales to last another turn, which is kind of nice, but for the most part, Cyclone Boys are not the best way to go about this build. Sweep seems to work much better. Sunder works well. Earthquake works well. Cyclone, not so well. But it looks cool, and I like it. So, Cyclone Boys, here we go. I hate these bubble people. My attack speed's so slow that this makes it even slower and harder. Let's go, Cyclone Boys. We'll probably be here a while. With the Cyclone variant, I'm guessing my damage is like 1.5 million. I was calculating it wrong. I didn't know that it put Vol Ancestral War Chief on by default, so all of my build POBs, which I think has only been the one, was a little higher because of the Vol Ancestral War Chief being tagged on. Oh yeah, this is taking a while. But mostly I want to see if I have the survivability, because I'm pretty tanky. As long as I can keep those Fortify stacks up. I was pretty torn on what's the correct path to go for Fortify. Whether to get the increased duration or the +2 to maximum fortification stacks. And I do believe the increased duration is the win, because I think the base time is like 8 seconds or 6 seconds, and having 11-second fortify is significantly better. For this build anyways. Because I also have the ailments duration is decreased by fortification count, and having that as a longer duration just keeps you tanky for longer. When your fortification drops with this build, you really are losing a lot of damage mitigation. So it's better to have the extra seconds versus the extra fortify, in my opinion. I recently cleared Uber, Elder, and Uber Elder and Maven. So I got all my Void Stones now. I'm pretty sure Shockwave doesn't work with General's Cry. I should test it to see if it does. I thought I tested it before, but that was at the beginning of the league, and I might have done something wrong. So I should probably try to test it again, because it would be pretty cool if I can get all those Cycloners to also be Shockwaving. Of course, it might not be worth it because you're dropping the support gems an entire extra support gem. But channeling builds are really good for General's Cry, for other versions of General's Cry. General's Cry versions that have fast attack speed. But since I'm capitalizing on slow attack speed, having the Cyclone, which is a channeling skill, isn't as advantageous. In the future, I'm probably going to buy a Savior and then do the General's Cry with Savior as well and see how many Cyclone Boys I can have in total. And have a build that's just maximum Cyclone Boys. I think that's cool. Good? No. Strong? No. Cool? Yeah, it is very cool. Oh, Vol Cyclone. Always the cause of my deaths. I should turn it off, but, you know, I like it. But I will no longer be Vol Cycloning in a level 10 Delirious map. I'm waiting for a Pride to hit the market with +2 to impales, but no good ones have hit the market at a reasonable price. There's been a couple that have been double prided, but those are like 15 divines. And given how much people complain about melee being dead, I'm surprised those pride jewels are so expensive. The double damage one makes a lot of sense, but the impale one being expensive doesn't make that much sense. There can't be that many people running impale builds. And this is with no evasion, mind you. I guess I'm blinding, which might give me some evasion, but I have no base evasion with this build. All those people claiming that grace is mandatory. You don't need grace, you just need broken mechanics. Man, those Cyclone Boys look cool. Let's increase my AoE for a little bit. Oh, stun locked. I guess I could have sped this up and picked up the loot later. But I don't want to. I want to pick up the loot now. Alright, now we got some shrines going. Oh, we got a fat boy with some extra shrines. That's perfect timing for fat boy. Yeah, I've all cycloned on the fat boy. If Cyclone was a real skill instead of, you know, a skill to enable other skills, this would be doing a lot of damage with all these Cycloners on him. Good thing it's a fat boy, not co-select. Co-select would take forever. Let's hope he doesn't drop, because I will be forced to kill him. 15 stack. Oh shit! A delirious. Not a delirious. A breach. In delirium. It's gonna be tough to kill these breach mobs. It's just gonna get super thick. It's gonna get super thick, and I'm not gonna be able to handle the mobs. Oh, so thick. I wasn't able to kill Jack. Well, I got the survivability for 100% delirious. I don't have the damage. 1.5 milli. It's actually probably less because Cyclone is such a bad skill. It's probably less. Probably ought to run a non-Cyclone version after this just to show the differences on how broken and stupid Cyclone is now. Cast it. Why is this not spawning my boys? I cast Desecrate. It wasn't spawning my boys. I'm confused. The island boys need to party. Out of all the skills used with General's Cry using a two-hander, I do think Sweep is still my favorite. It looks the coolest. But Cyclone's alright. Maybe use some of the alternate quality Cyclones. Ones that make them go faster. I wonder if that'll make the Island Boys go faster. It's like I'm birthing a bunch of mini-me's when I do the General's Cry. Oh, there's the Scorpion. I wasn't even near the Scorpion. He's all mad, too. He's all triggered and influenced or corrupted, whatever they call it. He can't do nothing to these island boys. You can jump around in the sand all you want. We'll just be over here. I need to take a screenshot for my thumbnail. Where's my print screen button? All right, let's find some boys to hit. Oh, that screenshot wouldn't have been good. There it is. That's the screenshot. That's the screenshot. Should have had all 5 Cycloners in the video in the screenshot. Oh, fat boy. I was just talking about how long this is gonna take. It's so I like how you can see the big chunks from Shockwave and the even bigger chunks if you get lucky to get the 50% more area damage. And then those 50% more area damage will apply an impale. Then you have a 10% chance to refresh that impale. And I'm hoping that all of these Cyclones are refreshing those big Shockwave impales. And that should be the case even more so when I get the new jewel to give me 7 impales instead of 5 max stack. So that Shockwave is going to hit, and then you're going to have 7 attempts to try to refresh it. I think that's how that works. Maybe only 1 attempt. I don't know. I'm just handling this 100% delirious co-select. He ain't got nothing on me. He's a chode. Look at him. He can't do nothing. Of course, he's got these big balls around me. He's gonna jump on him eventually. Oh man, I'm not gonna clear any of these nodes here. Oh, give me this currency. Nothing. So little damage in 100% delirious. Oh, now we got a Sacred Grove with 100% delirious. I'm gonna hit Vol Cyclone and it's gonna turn out bad. Yep, Vol Cyclone turned out bad. That map was mostly clear. I'll end it there. Don't want to go back through and get all that stuff on camera. This is the current setup that I have right now. Went through, got that jewel, extra jewel slot I applied there. I can get rid of these life nodes, but I think these life nodes are helping. I think having 5,000 life is kind of key to helping me out. Also made it to level 95, leveled up twice yesterday. Let's go ahead and grab the builder and take a look at what we're doing with the cyclones. It's probably not going to be that much because the cyclones are a little bit rough in terms of their damage numbers. Let's start with the skills. Let us apply. Include in full DPS. Let's get rid of all cyclone. Let's make sure that's not checked. And then we have General's Cry. Where are you, General's Cry? General's Cry. There's General's Cry. It was confusing me because it said Cyclone as well. So we're looking at 1 million without any of the calculations. Always on low life. We are fortified. Number of seconds affected by a Warcry buff is at least 10. I think 10's the max where it gives you the bonus. No, the max is 6. We definitely have 6 because we're constantly Warcrying, assuming it works that way. Warcries used recently. We are at 2. Impales. They are maimed. They are blinded. They are taunted. They are intimidated. They are not crushed anymore. I got rid of crushed. I might have to add back crush. Look at that. Crush is pretty good little damage bonus. I took off crush because crush wasn't working. Let's see if it was because of this. overwhelm. Now let's add crush again. Let's turn this to a boss. Let's add crush again. Yeah, it's a little less. Yeah, crush might not be worth it. Blood stance, let's do maximum effect for bosses. So 1.6 million is what this is looking like. I'm assuming this applies the curse that's on my ring, and I don't think it counts any flask. I don't know how to count the flask. The flask shouldn't add that much damage. That's all defensive. Yeah, that is it. 1.6 million. But it might be off and it might be broken because I think General's Cry might do more damage than it's saying it's doing. But if we add something instead of Cyclone, if we add in, let's just do Sunder. It puts it to 2.2 million. So Cyclone is doing so little damage because it's just a trash skill. Now, one area where Cyclone might be doing more damage that it's not calculating or counting is with this impale node that the tree doesn't even consider to be a damage increase. There's 10% chance of hitting an enemy for all pales on that enemy to last an additional hit. With 6 Cycloners hitting it and then 1 Shockwaver, it should be doing a lot of damage. Let's put Shockwave on this bad boy. We got Cyclone, Vol Cyclone, and Shockwave. See if we can see the Shockwave damage. Yeah, look at that. Shockwave damage might have been there before. That Shockwave damage is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Okay, well that's the build. Hope y'all enjoyed.